Kung pwede pong matanong si Mr. Edelito Sangco, siya po yung pinuno ng task force na binuo ni na Mayor. Yes, so, pinakita kanina. Sila po yung head ng task force. Pwede daw nilang i-present yung structure ng SBSI at yung findings ba ito? Yung findings ninyo tungkol?
Yes,
Mr. Chair.
you have presentation?
Your Honor, the
Please.
attorney, the legal consultant of the task force will be the one to present. Ando na po ang kopya sa
Okay.
secretariat. Pwedeng
Sige.
present ni Attorney Dano.
Attorney
Richard Dano.
Dano, you have the floor. Attorney.
Good afternoon po, Senator Bato and Senator Rizal Ontiveros and all who are present here. Good afternoon. Base po ito sa mga nakalap na mga testimonies ng mga witnesses. Kaya kinukulate namin para ma-establish natin yung yung structure at saka yung mga practices nila doon sa taas. So this is a collaborative effort of the task force and yung mga documents na nasa amin, yung mga judicial affidavits na rin ng mga witnesses. Thank you. May I proceed? The presentation would basically, ito yung outline, list of officers of Socorro Bayanihan Services Incorporated, the Divine Government, heading of the SBSI, yung organizational structure nila, yung mga list of ministries with corresponding ministers, yung list of clusters, yung daily routine nila sa Sitio Kapihan by cluster before Super Typhoon Odette in 2019 to 2021, and then after Typhoon Odette 2022 to present. Yung
Mr. Chair, matanong lang.
Yeah.
Attorney Dano, bakit po importanteng turning point yung before at saka after Typhoon Odette?
Para ma-establish po natin yung pattern of exploitation. Kasi yung mga bata, sa tingin ko, personal kung nakita na parang wala silang pahinga. Doon natin makikita na as early as 3 a.m., gising na sila. And they're heavily, yung structure nila sa yung mga oras, kailan sila gigising, sinong nagko-control ng mga thoughts nila.
Salamat kayo, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you po. May I proceed po?
Yes, continue.
Yung day off policy, kung kailan sila pwede na magpunta sa baba, o yung foxhole, kung sino yung mag-guard or mag-duty, yung gate pass, insurance policy po. Kasi yun na nga kasi hindi sila pinapayagan, so kailangan may gate pass. And it's also my personal experience po na magpapagawa ng deed of sale at saka sabihin by 11 a.m. dapat tapos na o unahan kami kasi baka mag-close yung gate at saka yung 4 p.m. So it's my personal experience po being a lawyer there, staying in the Bocas Grande. So yung list po ng officers nasa naman ito, nasa official announcement po ng SBSI page po. Yung board of directors nila, si Senior Aguila, yung president, yung vice president, si Mamertu Di Galanida, yung general manager, si Dinya T. Florano, na patay na, Chenga Lia Yamson, yung secretary general, Flordeles Ilandag, yung treasurer nila, Romero Ahok, public information officer, Winifredo Buntad, yung peace officer, Karen Sanico Sr., tsaka yung si Jaime Walo, Lelebeth Guma, Florencio Kiban, Alexto Rivas, Oscar Arcalar, Sammy Cordita, Lorlito Digal. Ito yung mga peace officers nila. Yung sa administrative department, Ralden T. Florano, yung executive assistant, Attorney Ralna Dayan de la Peña, yung legal consultant, Maricel Manti, yung accountant nila, Virgie Ocon, yung bookkeeper, Cheryl Sanico, at saka Jessica Galanida, yung mga auditors. Next slide, please. The divine government headings nila, Nueva Jerusalem Esperanza Ministry Government. Bagong gobyerno sa Diyos. Lungsod sa Kapihan, Isla Bocas Grande. Office, ground floor of function hall. Ang pangatlo yung organizational structure. Ito yung bago. Supreme Divine Minister, Jerin Skelario. Supreme Prime Minister Romero Ahok. Assistant Prime Minister Rickson Lobapis. Ministers, yung mga list of ministries with corresponding ministers. Interior and Local Government, Mr. Mamerto Di Galanida. Finance and Budget, Flor de Lis Ilandag. Agriculture, Andres Molianida. Social Welfare and Development, Lilian Dizon. Environment and Natural Resources, Medulina C. Himpit. Trade and Industry, Joel Molianida. Statistics, Jessica Kuray. Assessment, Maricel Manti. Sa Health, Gladys May Dizon. Solid Waste Management, Ranel Savandal. Defense, Winifredo Bontad. Culture and Arts, Alban M. Yamson, teacher. Deceased na din to. Divine Matchmaker, Rodolfo Ahok. Land and Transportation, Larry Liano. Energy and Waterworks, Markel Capistrano. Telecommunication, Melodina Hingpit. Yung legal consultant, Attorney Ralna Dayan de la Peña. Peacekeeper, Winifredo Bontad and Aguila members. Name of hospital. Ito yon, Medica El Salvador Perpetua. Ang administrator, chairperson, si Mrs. Rosalie Sanico. List of clusters, yung Aguila Cluster, Private Army. Karen J. Sanico Senior, yung chairman. Genevieve Dizon, yung battalion commander nila. Assistant Battalion Commander, Gilbert Dizon. Master Trainer, Winifredo Buntad. Number of staff, 20 persons. Agnos Cluster. Joel Molianida, yung chairman. Rene Lubapis, Battalion Commander. Assistant Battalion Commander sinabi pero wala kaming pangalan. Number of staff, 20 persons. Yung sa BUM cluster, Sergio Cobillan, yung chairman. Rocky Lobapis, Battalion Commander. Bonbon Bontad, Assistant Battalion Commander. Number of staff, 18 persons. Shera, Sami Cordita ang chairman. Eugene Ramirez, Battalion Commander. Ferdinand Gambing, yung Assistant Battalion Commander. Number of staff, 13 persons. Sa Dio na cluster, Alan Dizon yung chairman. Edi Paitan yung Battalion Commander. Rujim Veran yung Assistant. Number of staff, 16 persons. Ito yung sa Nursing Mothers, yung Ili na cluster. Maritis Hostol, yung chairperson. Jinky Api, Battalion Commander. Romil Api, Assistant Battalion Commander. Number of staff, 16 persons.
Mr. Chair, Attorney Dano, Eli Cluster Nursing Mothers?
Yes,
Mga
po.
breastfeeding mothers na nagte-training din at nagsiserve sa Soldiers of God.
Yes, ito po sila. May cluster din po ang
Yung
mga nanay.
number of staff nila, 16 persons.
Yes po.
Pero yung number of members bawat cluster,
Marami siguro hindi namin alam ang
hindi
numbers.
nyo alam.
Hindi pa
More or
namin.
less, tingin nyo.
Well,
Malaki?
kasi ang natandaan ko 1,303 children. Pero meron silang binigay sa ilang kanilang counter affidavit na numbers ng population nila doon. Pwede kong tingnan. Ito yung census of Socorro Bayanihan Services 2023. Yung family head, 1,238. Yung wife, 1,019. Children, 1,303. Sa cluster, yung Aguila, 132. Deo, 385. Agnos, 490. Eli or Perpetua, 552. Bium, 550. Feto, 650. Shera 801. Galing po ito sa kanila. Yung chairman nila, si Raldin Florano, walang nakalagay na battalion commander at saka assistant battalion commander. Ito yung sa mga bata sa fetus. Number of staff, 20 persons. Sa medic cluster po, Rosalie Sanico yung chairperson, PJ Ray Dizon, battalion commander, walang napangalanan na assistant battalion commander. Number of staff, 34 persons. Ito yung daily routine nila or practices. Before Typhoon Odette, 2 to 5 a.m., humanay. Meron na silang formation, masi-masi yung military exercises, jogging with rucksack, backpack loaded with gravel, weighing 12 kilos for females, 18 kilos for males. Latecomers are subjected to paddling using ironwood, round timber. 5 to 6 a.m., masi-masi ulit ng military style exercises. 6 to 7 a.m., obstacle race. For the Aguila cluster before Typhoon Odette, 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m., breakfast at respective residence. Pag 7:30 to 8 a.m., humanay formation, may masi-masi. Latecomers are again subjected to paddling using that wood or timber. 8 a.m. to 12 noon, dito ginagawa ang firearms disassembling, assembling training. Others assigned tasks such as hauling og magkuno lumbers for the business for the furniture business of cluster chair Karen Sanico, land preparation using pig mattock, planting root crops, etc. 12 noon to 1 p.m., lunch and siesta at respective residence. 1 to 1:30 p.m., humanay ulit, masi-masi military exercise. Latecomers are again subjected to punishment. 1:30 to 5 p.m., jogging with rucksack, obstacle race. 5 to 6 p.m., relax at the respective residence. Yung Aguila cluster before Typhoon Odette, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m., cluster meeting. Then 7:30 to 8 p.m., dinner at respective residence. 8 to 9 or 10 p.m., formation ulit, masi-masi ulit. And latecomers are again subjected to punishment. Next, ito na yung Aguila cluster after Odette. 2:30 to 3 a.m., sounds of various songs would be played.
Ibalik mo nga yung last slide. Latecomers are subjected to paddling using ironwood, round timber.
Yes po.
Isipin mo yung magkuno yan yung ironwood, round timber pa, pag papaluin ka niya, kasakit yan. Mas masakit pa yun sa bakal. Dahil mabigat yan, ironwood. Please continue.
Yes po, thank you. Itong 2:30 to 3 a.m., sounds of various songs would be played in centralized sound system. Merong recorded announcement, child's voice, alas 3 na, 3 times. Yung voice of teenager, umaga na, 3 times. Gising na, 3 times. Voice of gerunds, kayong mga nakatulog pa, gising na. Kayong mga naidlip pa, bangon na. Dahil sa ayaw niyot sa gusto, makikita tayo sa isang napakalaking paglilitis. Kung sino ang makakatunog, panalo. Kung sino ang malilinlang, talo. 3 to 4 a.m., family worship time inside the household. Ito yung silent recitation of the 15 Mysteries Prayer, reading out loud of letters from Senior Aguila entitled Pagmata or Gising na. Sabado y Gloria, Black Saturday. Dalan sa Kabulakan, Path of Flowers, Ibong Kalapati, Pulang Bangkang Hapuhap, Kadinang Solar, posisyon sa mga binadlisan or posisyon ng mga pinili.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
Attorney Dano, ano po yung 15 Mysteries Prayer? Rosario ba yun?
Meron silang sariling ginawang parang rosary, 15 minutes. Kasi one time pinapasite ko yung mga bata, silang sinasabi na 15 mysteries. So pina-recite ko nung one time nagpunta kami sa NBI. And meron yung 15 mysteries na sinasite nila. Yung prayer nila po. 4 to 4:30 a.m. cluster worship meeting discussing alleged miracles performed by J-Rens. In 4:30 to 5 a.m., humanay ulit, formation at the quadrangle. Latecomers are subjected to paddling using ironwood round timber. 5 to 6 a.m., all forms of hard labor such as gathering of sand and gravel from the shoreline are as the services of the ironwood to be utilized in the furniture business of Karen Sanico, land tilling through peak mattock, planting and fertilizing root crops, any other work assignments. 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. breakfast at the respective residence. 7 to 7:30 may formation na rin, and then magjo-duty sa guardhouse. Latecomers are subjected to same punishment. 8 to 12 noon, proceed to hard labor, volunteer works, and duty at foxhole, yung mga guardhouse nila. 12 noon to 1 p.m., lunch at their respective residence, except for those on duty at the foxhole who are bringing their own provisions. Sila lang nagdadala ng sariling pagkain. 1 to 1:30 a.m., humanay, masi-masi military style exercise, and then latecomers are again subjected to punishment. 1:30 to 4 p.m., yung hard labor, volunteer works, and duty at the foxhole sa guardhouse. 4 to 4:30 p.m., change clothing. 5:30 to 6 p.m., humanay, merong formation na rin, and masi-masi military exercise. Latecomers are subjected to same punishment. 6 to 7 p.m. onwards, dinner at the respective residence, overnight sleep. Agnos cluster, the same daily routine practices of the Aguila cluster before and after Typhoon Odette. Sa Bium cluster, the same daily routine practices of Aguila and Agnos cluster before and after Typhoon Odette, except for the firearms disassembling and assembling training. Shera cluster, before Typhoon Odette, 3 a.m., rise up and pray the 15 mysteries. 3 to 4 a.m., humanay formation, may Zumba, tasking for assignment at barracks and for those for volunteer works. 4 to 5 a.m., gathering of gravel for those assigned for volunteer works, and reporting for guard duty for those assigned at the barracks. 5 to 7, go home for those assigned for volunteer work. Those assigned at the barracks shall bring their own provisions. Volunteer works except those reporting for guard duty at the barracks pag 7 to 11 a.m. Sa Shera, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. lunch at the respective residence except those at the barracks. Volunteer works except those reporting for guard duty at the barracks 1 to 5 p.m. After Typhoon Odette, the same schedule of activities before the Typhoon Odette, except that no longer required to report to barracks but the foxhole for guard duty. Sa DU cluster, 3 a.m. to 4 a.m., the same early morning prayer activities with other clusters. 4 to 5 a.m., minor exercises. 5 to 7 a.m., household chores and breakfast. 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., females report for duty at the foxhole. Males pound rocks for gravel. 4 to 4 a.m., males report for duty at the foxhole. Nursing mothers, yung LE clusters, 3 to 4 a.m., the same early morning prayer activities with other clusters. 4 to 5 a.m., minor exercises. 5 to 7 a.m., yung household chores nila and breakfast. 7 to 4 p.m., females whose child have reached 3 years old shall report for duty at the foxhole. 4 p.m. to 4 a.m., male staff of LE cluster report for duty at the foxhole. Note that LE cluster was disbanded after Typhoon Odette. The members were reassigned to the cluster of the respective spouses. Fetus, yung fetus cluster, yung children, 3 to 4 a.m. The same early morning prayer activities with other clusters. 4 to 5 a.m., minor exercises. 5 to 7 a.m., household chores nila and breakfast. In classification, ito yung mga classification ng fetus clusters. Twinklers fetus, 5 to 7 years old. Cubs fetus, 8 to 10 years old. Junior fetus, 11 to 12 years old.